because it's the logical step what you do after SBS. You have learned so much. You've studied hardcore for 9 months, and now it's time to go out and get the word out. And you learn how to teach and you apply it right away. And when you go home, you have taught a lot, you have experience, and you're ready to teach in your church or go back to SBS or whatever. It's really good training, and I do recommend it.
Teaching God's word and sharing His truth and helping people understand the importance of application.
I realized that I need to actually apply what I learned in SBS, and I'm a person that really needs some instruction how to share what I learned in SBS. And so I heard about Titus and I got really excited because I think that's exactly what I needed to actually learn how to share what I learned in SBS and what I studied in SBS.
I think the training time prepared me very much for what would come afterwards. We already had a lot of time to practice how to prepare teaching and actually teach as well, so that we would already feel a little more equipped and prepared to go afterwards out and teach these people.
That's a great opportunity to grow as the teacher, to get the experience, to get the confidence.
I think for me, the Bible overview, because I really like this teaching. I think it's such an awesome teaching because you see how everything is connected.
The teaching about the different learning styles and also the teaching about the different characters. That was, for me personally, really helpful and really good to hear about before we actually go on outreach.
How to be good communicators, like talking about how to be verbally a good communicator, but also how everything else impacts it, like movements, the tone of voice, getting louder and quieter. And all these different things really helped me for the time there.
Pastors, they told me that the danger in church is to jump to application right away, and that teaching is so precious because it teaches the people that there is a step in between, which is interpretation and thinking of the original reader.
So I was teaching in an underground church in Central Asia, and I would talk about the book of Philemon and what is actually about forgiveness. And after that book there was one lady, and she was really offended by many people, and through that teaching God really speak to her that she has to forgive these people and that she has to stop to be offended. And for me it was great to see that even through this easy book, this small book, people would be affected, and even a small book is teaching in people's life and is touching them.
I was teaching in an Afghan refugee camp in Greece, and we had a translator there who had the opportunity to go to university and actually study in the time that he should be translating us. But he decided that the Bible studies and translating for these students that we had would be more important than to go and study in university, which was really amazing. And he was one of our best students, really. He would remember everything when we asked him a question. And he would be the one really impacting the other students a lot because of his faith and everything that he had learned.
These Afghan refugees will now take what they've learned through inductive Bible study and through Bible overview, and they'll be able to teach it to other Afghan refugees in Greece, and that to me is amazing.
Yeah, it makes it all worth it.
Every time we've got the feedback from the people we taught, they said either that was so helpful, they were blessed, or we were the answer for their prayers for the Bible studying team. Not just preaching, but studying. So for me, that's the best reward.
It's when one woman said, when she heard there was a team of 4 coming, she was convinced that would be 4 old women. And then she saw us being 4 young people in their 20s, and she was so surprised that people would take their time, instead of doing careers, taking time to go to other countries, teach the Bible. I have learned that people are very hungry to study.
A great need, tremendous need of the Bible teachers in the world.
you'll learn about how to be a good teacher and what's important to actually reach people. It's a big responsibility to be a teacher of God's Word, but it's also really precious, and yeah, it's a privilege to actually be able to teach God's Word.
I think that's what Titus is all about. God using us when we least expect it in a very powerful way.